What is going on, everyone? We are back with a different style video today. We're going to be talking about the Sixers and what they should do with in the NBA draft. So, as we all know, the Sixers have two draft picks this year. They have their own first round pick, which I believe is 16th overall, and then they have a second round pick as well. So, I'm going to dive into what I think they should do with that pick. So yeah, let's get right into it. Here we are. So yeah, they own their own first round pick. That pick is now 16, I believe, and then they have a second round pick as well this year. And I go to Butler University, so I mean, I'm a little biased on this, but I think the Big East Conference produces some of the best basketball players in the world, and I think it's the best conference in college basketball. So, me personally, I think they should draft a guy from the Big East. I also have a lot of experience watching the Big East since Butler is in the Big East, and I mean, they're one of the highest marketed conferences in college basketball. And I follow all the other teams a little bit as well because they are all rivals with Butlers. And it's fun to see like the guys on the other team. So the guy I think we should highly consider drafting with our first round pick is none other than Devin Carter. This guy was just, I believe Keith Pompey just wrote an article and he was talking about how he would be a good fit with Tyrese Maxey. Well, I absolutely agree with you, Devin Carter. You would be a fantastic fit with Tyrese Maxey, and you would be great on the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, Devin Carter is a stud. I mean, this year he averaged 19.7 points, 8.7 rebounds. For someone who's 6'3", that is really good, and 3.6 assists. He played for Providence, and God, Providence is one of the most annoying teams. They were one of the most annoying teams in the Big East this year because they were just dogs. I mean, they were always out there hustling, and Devin Carter was the captain of that team, and he was no different. He was always hustling. This dude was also a finalist or a semifinalist for a Naismith Defensive Player of the Year. So like this guy can D up as well. There are a lot of times last year where he'd be blocking guys on jump shots. We haven't had a guy who could do that since Matisse Thybulle. And yeah, he's a lot more capable offensively than Matisse Thybulle. His three-point shot was also much better this season than it was in years past. I watched the Butler Providence. I watched a lot of Providence games, but I specifically remember him when we played Providence in Providence, him hitting a lot of dagger threes to put us away when we scratched and clawed back. But Devin Carter remained calm and he led his guys to victory. So shout out Devin Carter, but not shout out for beating Butler there. Yeah, he's been in his bag the whole year. He was in his bag the whole year. You look here, the only teams he's really had bad games against are Villanova and Seton Hall, I believe. Like UConn, who was by far the best team in the country this year. He did oh Jesus, I don't know what I did there. He did really well against UConn. He scored 24 and he scored 20 against UConn. While this game could have been more, he could have been more efficient. Those are not bad numbers against the number one team in the country. He's also done well against Marquette. Yeah, 27 against Marquette in the Big East tournament. That is very impressive. I mean, this dude is a baller. He knows how to play. And the other thing we got to do is we got to make sure we got to hope that Miami doesn't take this guy because this guy, he's from Miami. He's a hustler. I mean, he kind of embodies Heat culture and he's not even at the Heat yet. So it'd be dangerous pairing for Devin Carter to go to Miami, but it'd be a dangerous pairing to put him with Joel Embiid as well. So like, yeah, I think he could also take a lot of pressure off of Tyrese Maxey. I would say he's more athletic than Tyrese Maxey from a like hops standpoint, not from like a speed standpoint. No one's faster than Tyrese Maxey. But Devin Carter can go up and catch a lob and throw it down. He did that multiple times this year. We already been over. He's a great defender. So he'd be good next to Tyrese Maxey, who can be a traffic cone on defense sometimes. So yeah, I think Devin Carter would be a fantastic fit for the Philadelphia 76ers. And if he falls into our lap, I think we should draft him. I'm going to be honest. Another guy from the Big East that I'd be down to draft while it would be a little bit of a reach, we could trade back or maybe he falls to us in the second round. Who knows? Tyler Kolek, man. This guy is also a big pain in the ass. Like, oh my God. When Butler played Marquette at Butler, this guy, he was a bucket. I mean, he was a bucket when he was healthy the whole year. Like, he's in his bag. He averaged 15.3 points per game on the season, 4.9 rebounds, and 7.7 assists, which is first in college basketball. That is impressive. So, like, he would definitely, I think he would definitely be our starting point guard if he were to get drafted by us, which would be huge because you could start him at point guard, you could put Maxi to his natural position as shooting guard, have Maxi running off ball, catching and shooting threes, going off. Tyler Kolek's also nasty in the pick and roll as well. Like he was working with Osho Iguodaro all of last year, and they were in their bag. Iguodaro is also a fantastic player who might get drafted as well. I feel like, yeah, he led the league in assists. Not necessarily the greatest defender, but he makes up for it with his offense and his passing ability. I think this guy would be a pain in the ass for defenses and be a fantastic guy to have started point guard. Yeah. He can shoot the three very efficiently. I mean, he's just an efficient scorer. He can score from anywhere, good off the pick and roll. He can be the one driving, he can drive the basket, he can pass the ball. I mean, Tyler Kolek just does it all. And I mean, like, he would also be another fantastic player for the Sixers to draft. Yeah, but I would say out of all the three that I'm going to talk about today, I would say he's the most unrealistic. I would say, but I'd be very happy drafting Tyler Kolek for sure. All right, and the last guy we're going to talk about, the two-time champ, Tristan Newton. This guy is a stud that doesn't get it talked about as much as he should have. I know he's on the older side. He's a senior compared to Tyler Kolek's a senior too. So I don't know why Tristan Newton's getting less love than guys like Tyler Kolek out here. But Tristan Newton is a stud, man. Like he's a baller. He was the captain of the UConn Huskies, who were two-time champions, man. Like, I don't think that can be stated enough. We saw a guy like Jalen Brunson, who was the captain of the 2018 Villanova team, that was outside of this UConn team, the most dominant team in college, the March Madness college basketball tournament that I have ever seen. Like, he was in his bag. He's got experience with a lot of star players that are kind of like Sixers players, I would say. Donovan Clingan, he's got experience lobbing it up to him. So he's got experience playing with a stud big man, fit right in with Joel Embiid. He's got experience playing with an athletic wing guy, wing player. So he could fit in with guys like Kelly Oubre, even a guy like Tyrese Maxey. I could see him fitting in well with him as well. Like fast guys. Like, I mean, Tristan Newton, he just gives off Jalen Brunson to me. I'm going to be honest. Like, leader of a stacked college team, and he was the best player, in my opinion. People are going to say Clingan was the best player, and he's going to go the highest. But I personally think Tristan Newton was the best. I mean, he was the captain of this team. Yeah, I think Tristan Newton's a fantastic player. He's got experience in big March Madness games, and he balled out in that national championship game. He was in his bag. I guess the only question mark for Tristan Newton is that his stats this year were a lot worse than were in years past. Like only shooting 41%. That's not that great along with 3-point percentage, but like that's why he would be in the second round. And you could snag him late in the second round. And I feel like he could develop into a fantastic guy for the Sixers. I feel like, and I don't know, he's got that Dan Hurley work ethic. Like he's got that hustle that UConn loves. And I mean, he just embodies like winning basketball. I feel like he's led 2 straight championship teams. And I feel like that's not talked about enough. I know his efficiency is not good, but he led one of the greatest teams in college basketball history to 2 straight championships. And I think that needs to be talked about. But yeah, that's all I've got. I mean, I love Big East basketball. I grew up in the Philadelphia area, so I grew up watching Villanova, guys like Ryan Arcidiacono, McCall Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Colin Gillespie. I remember guys like Miles Powell. I mean, that was a guy. This was back when I was first getting into the NBA. I was like, why wouldn't Miles Powell be insane in the NBA? Unfortunately, it didn't really pan out for him, but I still love Miles Powell. There was an NIT championship game at Hinkle Fieldhouse, which is Butler's arena, and it was the Seton Hall Indiana State game. And someone pulled up in a Miles Powell jersey, and I was like, damn, that takes me back. I also remember, speaking of Butler, Kamar Ball, when he was also a baller. I think he played for the Celtics G League team at a time. But yeah, I know I love Big East basketball. I would say I know a little bit about Big East basketball. It's a fantastic conference. I love the Big East, and I just hope the Sixers draft some. I hope they draft Devin Carter, and if not Tyler Coley, because I think those two guys would be fantastic with their first round pick. And then snagging a Tristan Newton in the second round would be good. I think I think it'd be wise to make use of this draft pick because I think it would be a disservice to someone like Tyrese Maxey to trade it away because you could be drafting a guy that could be longtime teammates with Tyrese Maxey right here. Like you get Devin Carter and Tyrese Maxey in the same backcourt, they're not going anywhere, and they're going to be our backcourt for a very long time. And I would really like to get someone that we could pair with Tyrese Maxey and could help Joel Embiid as well. Like who's saying Tyler Coley and Devin Carter couldn't be like some of the biggest help Joel Embiid's ever had. And then I think Tristan Newton, he could be a guy that could develop to play alongside guys like Maxey, Newton, or Coley and Embiid. Maybe not as much Embiid because it would take him a couple of years, but he could be good off the bench. Who knows? Good backup ball handler. But yeah, that's enough for me. I'm just a yapper who don't know ball. Peace.